Hello, and welcome to One Cool Thing, PC Mag's daily show on Facebook, where we show you one cool thing which we are testing in the PC Mag labs. I am Sasha Segan. This is Joel Santo-Domingo. We have Social Pete taking your questions, comments, messages, etc. And as always, we're going to show you a thing, but of course we would also like to take your questions. I know something about phones and tablets. Joel knows quite a lot about desktops, laptops, storage, that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that sort
PC
of stuff. So yeah, ask us PC stuff, ask us mobile stuff. But right now, first, we would like to tell you about the HP Surface Pro 5, right?
Right. This is the HP Spectre X2, the new version of the model. We saw this X2 last year. It's very similar to the Surface Pro. You can see it is a detachable tablet, so the keyboard does pop off.
Okay.
And you can use it like a tablet, like an iPad, in your hand, on your lap, etc.
The reason I made the Surface Pro joke is that it has the very, very slim, detachable I guess it's kind of leather on the outside screen. It has the pen. It's super slim.
Absolutely.
And it's around the same price range, right?
It's around the same price range. It's going after the same sort of consumer. But the guy who wants to type sometimes, but draw a lot, so it does come with a pen. You can use it to draw on the screen. It is a very light laptop. Light detachable tablet, sorry. You pop the keyboard off. It now becomes a vertical reader if you want. You can draw on the screen again, as I said. And it's very, very portable. The nice thing about this is you can put the full-size keyboard on. It's not as good on your lap as a full clamshell, but it'll get the job done. And if you're in Starbucks all the time, this is perfect.
Now, this build is just gorgeous. What are the materials here?
It's alloy, and the nice thing is, unlike the Surface Pro, it's actually got this U-shaped kickstand on the back, which is slimmer. It does dig into your lap if it's on your lap, but it's more elegant when it's out. Copper accents. And the thing I really like about this guy is it's got this metal front keyboard. It's got reinforcement, basically. You've typed on the Surface Pro. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that this keyboard feels a lot firmer. It feels more solid. The keys have more throw, and I don't like that what I consider the hideous automotive seat material that they make the
Alcantara fabric.
Yeah, that they make the Surface Pro accessories out of, because I feel like it's going to get dirty really easily. Whereas this with the metal and the leatherette just feels more sturdy to me.
It is. It's a lot more sturdy, and after typing for hours on both, this is a lot more comfortable on your fingers.
So what do we have? What do we have inside in terms of processor, RAM, storage?
Well, it's got a Core i7 processor in it, so it's pretty fast. 8 gigs of memory and a 256 gig SSD as it's configured here. You can go down, you can go up. So you can get a 512 gig SSD, you can get a 128 gig SSD to save some money.
Can you get more RAM for people who are obsessed with RAM?
You can get 16 gigs of RAM.
Okay.
So it's possible to use it as a true workhorse PC.
It looks like we might have some questions out there already.
Awesome.
How does it compare to the Surface Pro?
Compared to the Surface Pro, this is less expensive as configured here. It's got a higher resolution screen. It's got a 3200 by 3200 by.
I think it said 3000 by 2000.
3 by 2. Sorry.
I thought the Surface Pro was 3000 by 2000.
It is not. It is a little bit lower.
Okay.
It's close enough that you can't really tell the difference unless you're nitpicking.
Yeah, I mean that kind of pixel density on a screen this size is pretty intense.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah.
It looks really, really good. But it does have a slightly higher resolution screen. This has, unfortunately, less battery life than the Surface Pro, which is one of the reasons why this is a 3.5 and the Surface Pro is a 4 with our editor's choice.
So yeah, so the battery life was really, it looked like that was your big complaint in the review. And then, but I mean, just look how thin it is. How much battery are you going to be able to get into this thing?
Not much, but the thing is, it's about 8, 9 hours battery life. The Surface Pro got close to 14.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
That's a big difference.
Looks like we have another question out there.
What's the viewing angle?
The viewing angle is pretty good. Let's see if I can get the screen brightness up a little bit. But there we go. There's 100%. If you take a look at it, you can still see the colors, even though you tilt the screen almost all the way. So this is a really, really good screen.
How do you feel about the screen reflectivity?
The reflectivity is not bad. It's going to be a little glossy. There's no way around it, and it does take fingerprints really well, as you can see. But basically, if you have a glossy screen, you get better colors. You have an anti-glare screen on there, it's going to be muted somewhat. There are a couple of companies that do anti-glare pretty well. Apple used to. Lenovo does. HP, it depends on the system.
Now, another big difference between this and the Surface lineup in general is the ports. And HP has gone, I feel like HP has gone all in on USB-C.
They have.
And Microsoft has gone no in on USB-C.
That is one of my big complaints about the Surface Pro is for backwards compatibility with docks and stuff like that, it uses their proprietary connector.
Right.
USB 3, which is, everybody wants, and mini DisplayPort. This guy is USB-C only, as you can see. It's
and
got
that's
one on the side.
USB-C power and display.
Correct.
Okay.
And you can recharge it from either side. You can plug in display either side. It does come with a USB Type A adapter, so you can use your USB 3.0 or 2.0 devices, but then you're going to have to dig in your bag for it when someone hands you a USB stick. That's kind of annoying. I know you've been there, I've been there.
Yep. And we also have, I'd like to note, there's a micro SD slot here. Not a full-size SD slot, but a micro SD slot.
A lot of companies are actually going to micro SD because it allows them to make these things so thin, the bezel is so thin. Even HP, Dell, Lenovo business laptops are coming with micro SD now. So it's pretty much finally starting to take hold.
Looks like we have another question out there.
So someone points out, so the screen resolution is less than the Surface Pro. How is it?
No,
it's higher.
It's the other way around.
It's the other way around.
All right.
Yep.
So that puts a dent in his point. But he's also asking, how is it physically compared in terms of crispness and brightness?
Crispness and brightness. This guy is very crisp, very bright. We have it up all the way right now, and you can see the screen, which you can't always say on some of these demos.
Yeah, it's tough to show you under these studio lights.
It's really tough to show on studio lights, but it is really crisp. The text looks excellent on this guy. And you can, of course, adjust the zoom if you have a failing eyesight or if you're aging or
How does the pen compare to other pen-enabled laptops?
Okay, the pen is good. It's not as good as the Surface Pen. The Surface Pen has the shortcut button on the top, which allows you to use it as an eraser.
I love the eraser on my Surface Pen.
The eraser is really cool. It's got 2 buttons on the side, so you got the function keys, and it is pressure sensitive. I forgot exactly what the level of pressure sensitivity is before you ask, but it's good enough for drawing. I would say that if you draw all the time, get the Surface, but this is totally good enough for casual use as well as business use.
I have to say, like, one of the things that I have started using my Surface Pen a lot for, because someone reminded me to do it, it wasn't that it wasn't possible before, I just hadn't thought of it, is signing documents.
Yes.
It is so nice to not have to print things out and then rescan them.
Absolutely. Just pop it into Acrobat or whatever PDF reader you use, sign the document, send it right on its way. This will work perfectly fine for that. Okay,
great. Any other questions out there? So, is the Surface Pro our editor's choice for something in this area right now?
It is the editor's choice for something in this area. This has a really nice screen. The reason why this did not overtake the Surface Pro as our editor's choice are a couple things. The battery life I mentioned, 8 hours instead of 14. No USB 3.0, which is inconvenient.
And didn't you say it runs a little hot?
And it runs a little hot, so the fan does, it's got an Ultrabook style processor in it, so the fan does kick in once in a while. The fan in the Surface Pro does not kick in quite as often. We have a question.
What type of GPU does it have?
It is built-in Intel GPU, so it's a 630 or a 620.
Yeah, before you ask, devices like this are not intended for gaming.
Right.
Like, they're not intended for gaming. They won't run VR headsets.
Yep. You can probably play an older version of Civilization or Diablo 3 on this thing.
You can run things at low settings.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you're never going to get to full screen resolution, smooth gameplay.
These are business devices. They're not gaming laptops.
They're business or casual devices.
Business casual?
Yes, business. This is a business casual.
Like me.
Absolutely.
Business casual. Yeah.
That's right.
Looks like we've got another question.
Any clue about reliability?
Reliability is a hard thing to test. We don't test it because it varies so much. Some people baby their systems. Some people toss them in their bags and knock them around and check them in their luggage. It's very, very tough to test reliability. What you should do is check our survey.
Yeah, so I think the reason this question came out is because of the recent Consumer Reports story where they heavily criticized Microsoft Surface reliability. Now, we also run a very large survey called Reader's Choice, which used to be called the Service and Reliability Survey. And our results disagree with Consumer Reports. We found Microsoft's laptops, for instance, to be quite reliable.
Right.
And we got, as I can say, we got very different results from our study than from CR's study. I can't speak to their methodology. I don't know where their numbers came from.
Right. But this guy, it's very solidly built. So out of the box, it's great.
Mm-hmm. So, and yeah, I wonder where HP laptops end up on Reader's Choice.
Oh, I don't know. We can look it
general,
up.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe Pete can put a link to the Reader's Choice laptops section in the Facebook comments. Looks like we have another question out there.
Can you recap price and any sort of configurations that there are?
Right. This guy is the $1299 model. So it's got a Core i7, 8 gigs of memory, 256 gig SSD. You can go further down, 128 gigs for the SSD.
Didn't you say there's a 320
right.
SSD
Sorry.
option? I'm like, that's a weird size for storage.
This is the 360 SSD.
360.
I'm sorry. This is the special retail model that appears in Best Buy. They wanted to be a little different.
Okay, okay. Who even makes 360 SSDs? It's not a power of 2.
It's definitely an odd storage capacity.
Okay.
So the question that you had earlier about the reliability, let's see, laptops. HP is somewhere down near the bottom on laptops. Laptops less than a year old, HP is right in the middle. And HP is right in the middle for laptops for home use.
So
tablets,
in the middle.
It's
it's
at
average.
the bottom.
It's not as good as Microsoft.
Right.
Yeah.
Not as good as Microsoft, not as good as Apple on the laptop front. But it's still pretty good.
But so you said it can go up to 512 with the SSD,
Right.
down to 128. The
Up
memory
to 16 gigs.
memory can be 8 or 16.
Yep.
I guess those are the only real options.
Those
here.
are the options, and make sure you choose wisely because you can't service this and add memory or storage to these
I can't
things.
see any way to open this device.
Oh, there's probably a way to crack into this, but check out iFixit. They'll probably have it.
They probably figured it out. Looks like we have another question.
How is it for movies?
Movies, it's great. It's awesome. Taking this, removing the keyboard, laying it on your chest,
The kickstand.
the kickstand, watching a movie with a couple of friends. Totally doable.
You've got this Bang & Olufsen branding. I don't know if that means anything.
It's got really nice speakers. I'm not going to bore you with trying to. They never work out on this, but they are really good if you're in the room. Small to medium sized room, you can turn them up all the way and no distortion.
Okay, great. Any more questions out there?
Yes, we had one other, which was how is the user experience for the keyboard?
The keyboard is very, very comfortable. It's got a metal backing to it, so it's very sturdy. There's hardly any flex like there is on the plastic keyboard on the Surface and other competitors. I was able to type on this thing all day.
But let me just add, as we said earlier in the show, Devices in this form factor in general are not the most lappable devices.
Right.
That if you look at the side, you end up having the situation where, you know, this is impacting your lap. It's kind of a sharp edge. The keyboard is sturdy, but it doesn't necessarily hang together the way a traditionally shaped laptop would.
Right.
So on a table, it's great. On a lap, all of these sort of tablet-centric detachables are going to have a little bit of an issue.
Right. If you're typing on a train or a couch, train seat or on your couch, this isn't as comfortable as a clamshell. But if you're typing on a table, this thing is great.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another question.
Do you recommend it for graphic design?
For graphic design, yes, because it's got a 3,000 by 2,000 screen.
And a pen.
And a pen. It's really nice for that. It's a great quick sketchbook. You know, bringing up Windows Ink is really easy. Just bring up the workspace, bring Sketch up. Real quick. Very little lag. There's a little, but very little. It's very, very responsive. And you know, it's got this this fabric loop. So it doesn't clip to the side of the tablet like the Surface Pro does, but you do have it handy.
I mean, that said, like, there's something to be said for the fabric loops, because I have a Surface Book. That's my main laptop. I use that every day. And you do find sometimes that when you drop the Surface Book into your bag,
Right.
And jostle things around, the pen can fall off because it's just magnetically
Right.
attached, as
And
opposed to, you know, this isn't going to fall off.
That's not going to fall off.
Looks like we have another question.
So someone's asking how fast it charges up to 100%. Is that part of our benchmarking?
We do not do charging benchmarks. We do discharge benchmarks, which this lasts about 8 hours. They charge reasonably fast. In my experience, it was never an issue plugging it in. It's reasonably fast. It's not. We don't do timed benchmarks.
Are USB-C chargers interchangeable? Like, could you use like a MacBook charger with this?
You can. That's an interesting point. USB-C is a common standard now. As long as the wattage on your AC adapter is enough, this will charge. One of the neat things about it is it's got protection built into it. It does pop up a window saying you should really use a HP charger when you charge this thing.
But like a 60-watt Apple charger, if
should
people
work
have those
fine.
kicking around,
Yep.
should work fine.
It should work fine. I have a 65-watt Lenovo USB-C charger for another laptop that I'm testing right now. I plugged this in. It did pop up that message, but it charged.
It charged. Okay. Any more out there? Okay, great.
Awesome.
Well, thank you all very much. The full review of the Spectre X2 is up on PCMag.com. It's 3.5 stars, which means that it's not our editor's choice, but it's pretty good.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah. We will be back at 3 p.m. today with Dialed In, our show about mobile phones, if you have any mobile phone questions. Otherwise, we will see you at 10 a.m. tomorrow for another cool thing from the PC Mag Labs.
Aloha.